Yeah, okay, good morning, afternoon, and evening. It's the guy you should believe in. Dropping heat like every season. Underdog like Willie Beeman. Classic like Dom singing. Blasting like bombs ringing.
Go ahead and start it.
Lachi. Okay. All right. Shaved nut. Oh, my. Oh, no. Turn your head to the side and then lean forward in the camera again. Lean forward. Let the light really hit your scalp. Now put your head down. Oh, yeah. That's the angle right there.
All my hair is used to being like long, so it's all in the worst way possible. It's gonna take like a week for me to train it to go where it needs to go again. It's so bad.
And you think, looking at yourself right now, you're like, yeah, this is the move.
I like it better. Now you know why I wasn't Snapchatting you all day.
I wanted to see how long. Weird. Yeah, I did think that was a bit weird.
I wanted to see how long it would take, but you noticed right away. I thought you would just continue and you wouldn't notice at all.
That would be hilarious.
That's what I thought was gonna happen. So that's why I was like, I'm just gonna let it rock and see.
My brain needs to just be on top of shit like that to just be like, oh yeah, he thinks he's getting me. Let me get him back.
Okay. To start the show off, here's my opening question for you.
All right.
Football season is upon us. We're like 2 weeks away from week 1. Okay. Which is just fantastic. I actually think, now that I think about it, I think I'm going to be in town for week 1. Am I not? Or is it that Thursday? Is it the day after I leave?
Week 1's when?
I think it's September 4th. Is it the day I leave?
It might be the day you leave, yeah.
5th, the day after I leave.
The 5th, the day after.
Anyways, the NFL season is 2 weeks away. It's upon us, and that means fantasy football is back. So, let's say, Symposium, you end up with the first pick overall in our fantasy draft. Who are you taking with the number 1 pick in the 2024? What is our group name even? I don't remember. But
okay,
who are
here's
you taking number 1?
Didn't Christian McCaffrey get hurt in this offseason?
I don't think so. He got paid, but I don't think he got hurt. No.
I thought there was something going around that there was an injury somewhere. Because that's my first pick. If there is no injury, to Christian McCaffrey, at least last year he was the most consistent guy. He was.
See, that's the thing for me. I'm like, I want to, if it were me, I would want to go Christian McCaffrey, but
who'd be more consistent than Christian McCaffrey?
See, that's the thing. I'm worried that we're gonna hit the fall off. We've had too many good years of Christian McCaffrey.
True, but this is also the Super Bowl push as well.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. I don't know if there's a receiver that's number 1 because Chase isn't. I don't think anyone believes in Chase like that this year.
I think it's
Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson is not going to be. Yep. Tyreek, I think he's not a. I don't think he's a 1 guy. I think he's a 2nd round guy probably, or late first if you don't have a top end.
I think that's just because we thought he was going to retire. So what kind of Tyreek are we going to get when he was going to retire?
It seems like it's clear that it's Christian McCaffrey, but also you look at the landscapes of running backs, and I look at Saquon with that offensive line. I look at Derrick Henry with the Ravens.
Yeah, but
there's the off chance that Devon Achane plays 17 games this year and continues to rush 8 yards per carry, and that's insanity.
So what's the safe bet? Travis Kelce?
No, because I don't think he's that consistent because it's Chiefs regular season. I don't think he's that consistent through regular season. So it's I want to go Christian McCaffrey, but in the back of my mind, I'm just waiting for the fall off. It's too good to be true.
What about a Sam Laporta?
Number 1?
I'm trying to think of consistency, dude. Who's the most consistent guy week to week? Because that's really what you're looking for with your number 1.
It's Christian. It's
got to be Christian.
It's just hard to take the plunge.
Because everything else is a gamble. Malik Nabers is a gamble.
Yeah, I wouldn't draft a rookie. I wouldn't draft a rookie number 1.
A QB is a gamble as well.
Yeah,
Like
you can't
CJ's a
go
gamble.
QB. You can't go QB. You have to go running back. But I don't know what
And
other
wide
like
receiver,
maybe Derrick
every number
Henry.
one wide receivers basically lost their dude, except for like I guess Debo Samuel. But again,
Uh,
Debo's he's not consistent week to week.
so Christian seems like number one, but then
Who's number two?
I don't know. This is such a weird draft. I have no idea who you pick, especially in our league, because it's gonna be keep your top three guys. So
Yeah, who would be the normal number two? Like a CD Lamb?
maybe CD, maybe it is CD,
Yeah,
maybe CD's
because
one. Maybe that's the sleeper pick for one.
because everything's the same, and like even if
And they've
the
got less of a
Cowboys,
running
the
game.
Cowboys have literally changed nothing. So it is
Except
it,
they lost their running back. So like they're gonna
so
pass even
yes.
more.
So they'll pass even more. So they will still be great. CD will still. I think CD's the number one. It has to be.
I think that's the sneaky one.
I think that is because again, like Chris McCaffrey. Oh my God! I should have screenshotted. I was going to screenshot a picture of the oldest teams in the NFL. Guess who the oldest team in the NFL is? The
Niners.
49ers. Yes, the
Yeah.
49ers.
Yeah. 100%.
So it is like if you take a guy from that high-powered stacked offense, I mean, there's a good chance that
I feel like Derrick Henry's going to go high this year. Saquon should go high. I just don't know like who's getting kept in our league specifically. I don't know who's getting kept, but I think Christian has to be if he's available in your league. You got to just take the plunge and
I think Jonathan
not
Taylor
overthink
goes over Saquon and Derek because
what
they're
about
both
like
in new systems.
where do you think Puka or Cup goes?
Cup goes higher than Puka because people. I mean, just think about the doubt. Like, what if it was just like rookie woes? That's the correct saying, right? Rookie woes, like they do. Great.
Yeah.
Yeah. What if it was just that? What if he just like turns into just an everyday guy? I mean, it's his second year. People didn't really know who Puka was. They didn't know like how they were going to utilize Puka. Now there's a year's worth of film to look at.
I don't know. I just don't like Christian is. I think you just don't overthink it and you go Christian McCaffrey, but there's always the chance that he falls off a cliff.
Who's the excluding Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson? Who's the first
CJ.
QB? CJ. Who's the second? Where's Aaron Rodgers?
I think he'll be a late pick that someone will grab in like the 6th or 7th. Like there'll be a QB run late where like there'll be the people that didn't have a QB last year that'll take one in our league specifically. I'm talking about because I'm keeping CJ. So like there's going to be a group of guys that keeps their quarterback, and then there's going to be a group of guys that takes one late, and there'll be a QB run, and he'll go in that probably.
Yeah, my big problem is I have Jalen Hurts. I don't know. I don't know without Jason Kelce there how their O-line is going to do, and it's not like Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes. The way I view Jalen.
Maybe you take a gamble on Joe Burrow because to me, I think it's going to be like an MVP caliber season.
People were saying that last year. What if he gets hurt again?
So yeah, that's the big thing. You got to take insurance. If you're taking Joe Burrow, you got to take insurance later at quarterback. So I don't know in terms of quarterbacks. I think definitely, obviously CJ. You got to think of somebody with upside. I think Kyler's a decent pick.
And then here's the thing: I have Sam Darnold and JJ McCarthy on the Vikings. TJ Hawkinson's my number one tight end.
Yeah, you're shocked.
Yeah, like these are my entire roster that got me to third place when I was the last draft pick the year before. They're all unknown.
I gotta take. I'm gonna have to keep Dalton Kincaid just because he's gonna be the number one option in like theoretically he's one of the better options in Buffalo. So I gotta keep.
Trav is set with Drake London. That's gonna be insane.
I don't think Drake London booms this year. I don't think so.
I think for sure that I don't know when he picked him, but having Drake London on your team and then keeping him on your team to this year, that's definitely an improvement. And you're
I think you could still get him back
rising.
in the third. I still think you can get him back in the 3rd or 4th. I don't think that's worth keeping, like taking a keeper spot.
You're right. Yeah,
I don't think taking that in a keeper spot, maybe picking him, but not in a keeper spot. I don't think. Yeah, I don't know.
Anybody choose Kirk Cousins? Just roll the dice on Kirko.
Maybe. Maybe Bijan might be useful this year.
No, Bijan
Actually,
is going to be useful. I
so
100% believe Bijan's
I
going to be
I think I'm going to keep Rashad White. I think the three I'm going to keep is what I originally was going to keep, which is CJ, Dalton Kincaid, and Rashad White. I like
That's another thing. I don't have any running backs. I have Gus Edwards, James Conner, and
my
then I
first
have Joe
pick.
Mixon.
My first pick in the first round might be Kyron Williams from the Rams. That
Yeah.
might be my first pick. If he's available on the board and the way things look there, I might take him. Like honest to God, because I probably will end up with like 3 to 7, 3 to 8 this year. So
Yeah.
I'd imagine the big
I'll be
names are
looking
going to
for
come
an
off the
RB.
board.
The problem is if we go by seeding, first
Mhm.
place gets
We're not.
last
It's
pick.
hat draw.
Oh, it's
To my
Saturday.
knowledge, it's hat draw again. So,
Well, I got fucked last time, so
dude, okay, let's talk about this.
Uh,
And I'm not trying to make a case for myself. I'm not trying to whatever. But first pick, there's no margin of error with first pick.
no, you have a huge margin error.
I don't think so.
You can be better. You have a let's say it's a 10 person like roster. You have 10 slots, right? So if you
I don't
pick some guy,
but
if you
you're
pick
at
some
the-
guy who's better than the last pick of the first round, then you won. Because
No,
it's better
'cause-
than the last pick.
No, because I think because you're at the back end, you're either at the front or the back end of 2 rounds. Basically, you're at the front of the first round, and then you're at the back end of the second.
Uh-huh.
There's you're getting you're getting the best player per se potentially. That's the other
Yeah.
thing too. It's not a guarantee. Like in my situation, Justin Jefferson gets hurt halfway through the year. I'm
Yeah.
chalked. I'm chalked. So I think the worst place to be is beginning and end. Obviously, I think the middle is the best place to be.
Yes, I will agree with that, but I don't agree that first pick overall is the worst. Because let's just cut it in half.
Well, because
as long as you get a
because if
guy,
you-
as long as you get a guy in the top 5, you win. You beat
the
other half of the guys.
No, but think about it though. If let's say you do pick the best guy, you're not picking again. You're essentially getting a third round piece because you're picking at the end of the second. So you're getting basically a third round piece. So you get a first, a third, fifth. Like you get every other round essentially.
I'm
You're
not
getting
arguing that being in the middle isn't like the peak of where you want to be, because like what I said, if you get a guy who's within the top 5, you've beat the ladder, the bottom 5 of who's drafting. But but with that being said, you have a guy who's going to be top 5 in points, right? Like there is top 5.
But then your next guy is a third round guy. That's what I'm saying.
But the margin there, like you're thinking about it as a person who is in the middle. Like think of it as a guy who's at the bottom. I get a
yeah, but you get the last pick of the first.
I get 2 seconds.
No, but you get but when you're looking at the entirety of the league, the end of the first round is still a great pick because yes, those guys get taken.
The top 5's different. Top 5's different
Sure.
amount of points per week.
Top 5 is different, but I would rather be first. I would rather be last than first because you're getting last pick of the first round and then first pick of the second.
You realize how ridiculous this is? You were the
ended
first
up.
pick.
You ended
were
up
the
with
first pick, and then you got shit on. I came from the bottom. The bottom.
That's what I'm
made it
saying.
out- I made
You
it
had
out
a
of the
better
mud.
draft than I did. I'm
No,
giving you
I-
props.
no.
I'm giving you props. Can you just take it? Jesus.
I'm just a better because you're trying to say, because you saying that you'd rather be in my position is saying that you would have done better in my position. No, you wouldn't have.
No, I'm not saying I would have done better.
This brain is just different.
I'm not saying I would have been better in your position than you were. I'm saying I would have been better off than where I was at. Because you have such a margin because I get the first pick, and then if my first pick gets hurt like he did, then my next best player is a third round player.
But that's rare, dude. It's just because Justin Jefferson got hurt. It's rare. If Justin Jefferson didn't get hurt, then you would have been set.
I don't know though.
You're set up for success, brother.
I still wasn't great because I picked fucking Tony Pollard.
That is true. You did pick Tony Pollard, yeah.
And I got chalked there. So like,
yeah, but my first pick was Derrick Henry, and I ended up trading him.
Either way, I think that you're better off in the middle, no
Let
matter
us know.
what.
Let us know. Would you rather be the first pick in your fantasy draft or the last pick? Let us know down in the comments.
Okay, the next thing here I've got in terms of football news, Marquise Brown like dislocated his shoulder or something. Did you
Yep.
see what Andy Reid's response was?
I did not see what Andy Reid's response was.
Andy Reid's response was, and I quote, "He'll miss some time."
Is he the new Bill Belichick?
I think
To
so.
the media, he's just
in a
like,
more fun way, in a more fun, like on the field way. He'll miss some time. That's so funny.
what's funny is that like this was the dude that was like this was their big move in the offseason to be like, yes, now we're serious about the three-peat. He gets hurt. Andrew Reid's just like, yeah, I'll miss some time. Not worried. We got Patrick fucking Mahomes and Travis Kelce. All right.
Go ahead. What did you have? What did you want to start with?
So I have the notable QBs rated higher
Okay.
than Daniel Jones in Madden 25.
Okay.
So,
Higher than Daniel Jones. Okay.
higher than Daniel Jones. How long
Okay.
has Daniel Jones been in the league?
I think this is year 7.
Year
Something.
7.
I think it's year
around.
7.
He's been in the league for a long time. Caleb Williams, the rookie, is rated a 76. Justin Fields, the backup, is rated a 75. Drake May, the rookie potential third string, is rated a 74. Anthony Richardson, the starter, rated a 74. Jaden Daniels, the rookie, rated 74. Bryce Young, the worst team in the league, 73. Gardner Minshew, fighting for a spot in Oakland, is a 73. Andy Dalton, I didn't even know he was still in the league, is a 72. And then it goes Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, Will Levis, Bo Nix, Desmond Ritter, J.J. McCarthy, and then it goes Daniel Jones.
Desmond Ritter is a slap in the face to be
Bro,
rated
no,
the same as
J.J.
Desmond Ritter.
McCarthy is a slap in the face. This
Bro,
was
he is decent. Okay. The Daniel Jones hate is crazy. He has legs.
no. Just look at this. Daniel Jones is rated the same as 2 rookies and Desmond Ritter. That's insane. J.J. McCarthy had been
Full stop. That's so bad, bro.
it's so bad. J.J. McCarthy had been ridiculed the entire draft as like he's not a good QB.
Overrated, yeah.
He's overrated, and he's rated the same as a man who's been in the league for a long time. He has playoff wins underneath his belt. I'm not a big Daniel Jones fan, but can we give this guy a little bit of like slack here? We're killing this guy. Bro, Andy Dalton is rated.
Yeah,
higher
that's
than him.
insane, dude. That's so insane. Speaking of quarterbacks, since we're on the topic, this was my next thing. So this leads me into it. You can keep this up because it'll be
Okay.
funny either way. I was in the barbershop today, obviously.
Yeah.
And this guy is sitting in the chair. So my barber was cutting a guy's hair before when I got there, right? And I'm
Yeah.
just I go in there, I sit down, I'm listening to their conversation. They're talking about football. This guy said the wildest shit I've ever heard in my entire life. Okay. They're talking about the greatest quarterback of all time. He literally he's dead serious too. He goes, to me, Drew Brees is the greatest quarterback of all time. He's the best player to ever play the position. And then number 2, Peyton Manning. Brady is 5. And the entire barbershop went like this. Huh?
Bro,
The entire shop, people stopped cutting hair and were looking at him. And he was just sitting there in the chair like this. And my barber is just sitting there with the comb
Bro.
and the clippers, just like, what? And he goes, what'd you say? And the guy goes, Drew Brees is the greatest quarterback of all time. It was like full stop. Everyone in the shop was like, you have lost your mind.
leave. Get out of here.
Literally halfway through the haircut, bro had one side of his fade done. Leave. Get out of here.
Bro, being in Colorado and putting Peyton Manning second to Drew Brees is diabolically crazy. I need to know, did he give you his 3rd and 4th?
No, he just goes Drew Brees is 1, Peyton Manning's 2, and Brady's 5. There was no 3-4.
Oh my God. Drew Brees is great QB, best of all time.
And you want to know what his argument was?
What?
He won in spite of some of the most historically bad defenses in NFL history. That was his argument. He's like, he's the best. Brady, if he won the Super Bowl that many times, that means he had the best team in the NFL. And everyone was like, yeah, because he was on the team, dumbass. Like, what are you talking about? He's like, he had the best team. So he's not necessarily the best quarterback. It just means they had the best team because they won all those Super Bowls. It doesn't mean he's the
He
greatest
also
quarterback.
took pay cuts to get those guys there.
And he played with literally randos his entire career.
Yeah,
This-
let's not
everyone-
let's not skip over that Julian Edelman was like a 7th round pick or something, and then like worked his ass off, and then became a stellar guy.
He was a quarterback in college. They drafted him as literally Bill Belichick literally called him and was like, "You're a good football player. We'll see you on Monday." That was the entire convo. It wasn't like, "You're a great quarterback. We can't wait. We think you like."
Bro, if they never got Gronk or Randy Moss, this conversation would never happen, because that guy's mind immediately just says it's all Robert Gronkowski and Randy Moss's. That's
Though
the
Randy
entire...
played there for like literally, I think it was I don't even think it was a full year. Fact check me in the comments. I'm not going to look it up, but I know it wasn't a long period of time that Randy was there. I want to say it was a year and a half or half a year. It wasn't a long time.
Yeah, I know. I don't.
Drew Brees, bro, that's a sickness. That man has a sickness.
And
Drew
I want
Brees.
to say that there's actually like, this has been talked about, like Drew Brees' like offensive coordinator was like one of the best to ever like exist.
Dude,
I
Sean
wanna
Payton was
say
his
that-
coach.
Yeah, Sean Payton, arguably one of the best coaches ever.
Dude,
Like,
it was so funny. After he left, I sit down in the chair and I go, "What the is that guy talking about?" And he goes, "I don't know. We're never having him back in here. He was saying all sorts of crazy stuff before you
bro,
showed up."
in Colorado was crazy. Be like, yeah, Peyton Manning's number 2 to Drew Brees.
To Drew Brees. Yeah,
He's
he's like, that guy's never coming back. That guy's never coming back. I was like, all right.
Yeah,
that
bro,
was
just
crazy.
just think about it. If you win the Super Bowl, you have the best team in the league. So that means that's your ass. That means that
5 is nuts, dude. I can't even imagine who would be his 3 and 4. If Drew Brees is 1, Peyton Manning's 2.
Let's think
who's
about it,
3
because
and 4?
obviously he's thinking of current. He's
He's
not
like
gonna.
Brett-
He's
he's like
not gonna
Brett
throw.
Favre.
Yeah, he's not. No, he won't even throw a Brett Favre or a Joe Montana, because he's putting Drew Brees. At
You
the
think he
top.
has like Mahomes
I think he.
at 3?
I think he has recent dudes. I think he has like Eli Manning, like at 3 or 4.
He's like Eli Manning was goated.
It's like,
3,
yeah, same thing.
third best
Because
quarterback
he
of all
beat the
time.
Patriots. Because he beat the Patriots. It goes
Dude.
flipping
Oh my God.
Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, Eli Manning, Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson, he almost, like, they basically won that game, dude. It was just because the flipping New England's defense was so stacked that year. It wasn't even Tom Brady, dude. Or like Matt Ryan. Like,
I just
Matt Ryan
couldn't-
should have won that Super Bowl.
I couldn't believe it. It was comical, dude. I wish it was on camera. The entire shop was like, what?
That's absolutely, I mean,
Absurd.
But like
Absurd.
those are the people that like just comment, and they comment and they're like, yes, I know sports better than you do.
Absurd, dude.
Alrighty,
Absolutely
have you
so out
heard-
of pocket.
Have you heard of the denied trade with Brandon
Which
Ayuk?
one? I've heard of a couple different ones. Which one?
The Browns one.
Yeah,
what
I
we wanna
have.
talk about.
Okay. Okay.
So the trade is the Browns get Brandon Ayuk. San Francisco 49ers get Amari Cooper, a second
Yeah,
round and a
not
5th
enough.
round.
Not
And
enough.
it wasn't that. It was said, here, let me scroll up for you. At least what the description said is that the reason why this was not accepted is because the deal is because Cleveland wasn't a preferred destination, is what it says.
Yeah.
right there.
So Brandon Ayuk is taking a basketball angle. And here's what
Yeah.
you do in the basketball world. I want to trade. You go to your team. Well, in the basketball world, it's a little bit different because most of the guys get their deal first and then they go, I want to trade. But let's say they're on the last year of their deal. Okay. They go to the team, they say, I want to trade. Okay, we can do that. We'll find you a trade. maybe they hold out for a little bit. Maybe there's a little bit of they try and arbitrate on the contract, whatever. But they're like, okay, we'll try and find you a deal. Fine. Okay, but I want to play with the Lakers. Okay, we'll see what we can do. So they call the Lakers and they say, all right, we've got Devin Booker. We need Anthony Davis and you're set in a first round pick or in a second round pick in 2 years for Devin Booker.
Why?
Nope, not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. So okay, fine. Then we're not gonna do a deal with you because we can't get one done. Then they go and they try and look around the league. Then what the player does is say, I'm not playing for them. So then what ends up happening is the team that the other teams in the league are not going to take him because they trade for him. He's on the last year of his deal. He's a free agent. We just gave up a bunch of shit for him and he's not going to come back. This was the Kawhi situation where he went to Toronto. They took him on a whim that they could win a championship and it ended up working out. And he didn't sign again with them. But it's rare that a team is willing to just take the shot on someone. So then they're going around the league saying, we'll trade you this and this for him. Well, we're not going to take the deal because he's not going to come back to us. So what ends up happening then is whatever team the player actually wants to go to then has the upper hand, even though they don't even have him yet, because they can just sit there and say, here's our deal. And they can give them crap because they're not going to, no team is willing to trade with them. And then the other team has no leverage because the player is saying, I'm not going to, if you trade me there, I'm just not going to sign. So no one's willing to do it. So then that what ends up happening is the team who's holding the player folds at some point and trades him to the team he wants to be on so that they can keep all their pieces.
And the other thing is that there is a team that he wants to be on. His agent, picks up the phone, is like, hey, example, fantasy world that we're talking about. Obviously not talking about Brandon Ayuk. No, that's crazy. Agent picks up the phone. He's like, hey, Washington Commanders, my guy who's undisclosed really wants to be there. And then he hangs up the phone. So then now it is the Washington Commanders. They're not going to take just like an easy buns deal. They're going to get a lot for Brandon Ayuk because they know Brandon Ayuk wants to be there. And that's more of like what am I trying to say here?
No, you're mixing it up. They're not going to give up anything because they know he wants to be there.
Yes, they're trying to get more out of the 49ers because
I don't really know how you do that,
his first option.
Yeah, they're not going to get any more out of the 49ers, but they can send a better. They can send a.
He basically denied.
Yeah, but they're not going to get any more. They're just going to they just will give up less.
Yes.
Yeah. The other thing too, I've heard the rumors that the Steelers are a favorite of his, allegedly. Basically
Big
because
Russell Wilson guy.
No, just because he loves Mike Tomlin, and Mike Tomlin's a great coach guy. Yeah. So apparently that's on the table. Of course, the Commanders are on the table, I think. So I don't know. I don't know what this looks like. Are we going to see our first real holdout in football where he's just not going to play at all? Do we see, I don't know. I have no clue what's going to happen from here. We're in uncharted waters at this point. Dallas is sort of in the same scenario, but not really, because they'll probably get the deal done because they've got the money. It's just a question.
Did you see Micah Parsons in OTS has been taking snaps at running back?
Yes. It's so bad there. They have no running game. It's so bad, which we're going to talk about. We're not going to talk about it too much because we're going to talk about it a little bit later. So the last thing I want to talk about here, do you have anything else with this?
Nope.
Okay. Last thing I want to talk about, the United States of America, led by La Liberty, L'America.
La Captain L'America.
Won the gold for us. Fifth gold in a row. So this is 20 years of golds.
20 years of freedom.
20 years.
20 years of American democracy. Putting our peen in places it's supposed to be.
The last time they won something other than gold, we weren't alive. Think about that shit. Think about it, dude.
That's fucking right.
That's insane.
That's right.
We've been gold medalists in basketball our entire lives.
Hey,
that's a good thing to say.
We're gold. We're gold because they're gold.
Everyone's talking about it on the internet, and I completely agree, bro. I have once. It was during the 2020 24, whatever year that the most recent year that the Warriors won the championship. That was the only year I've ever rooted for Steph Curry. It was so amazing to be able to just like, and even then it was tongue in cheek. Now, dude, against the world, I was so happy to see him do that crazy stuff to other countries and just being like, yep, we've got a guy. We've got a guy. And
We got
he's just
guys.
better. And he's just better. Like there was no like he's just better. I'm sorry. Sucks for you. He's simply better than your guy. Like your best guy.
You get to feel how the Warriors fans felt during
Dude,
that time.
seeing him
That,
hit
like,
those
we're
crazy
just
shots, you're just
better.
like
We're just-
okay. But my point with this, let me stay on track here. Let me get
stay
not
on
too
track.
far off.
Yeah. America.
The point is we've won 5 golds, but there's a couple things that always come out of the Olympics. Okay.
Couple things.
And I want us to keep our eyes and ears open and our hearts full.
Eyes
Okay.
and ears open. Hearts
We're
full.
going to see Kevin Durant end up on the Warriors by the trade deadline.
No, Steph Curry, LeBron. That's what everybody else has been talking about.
I don't
Heard it
think
here
so.
first.
That doesn't make sense in terms of
I just want to put this point out right here, right now. If this is true, you need to start tweeting these things and become better than Adam Schefter if this is correct.
it doesn't make sense for a LeBron Curry team up for the main reason that the Warriors have gotten rid of Clay, so there's no reason for them to move Curry. And the Lakers just drafted Bronny, so they're not going to move LeBron. Like that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So that team up won't work. But what makes perfect sense is for Kevin Durant to head out. If you probably didn't see it, but for those who were watching it, like Kevin Durant and Devin Booker are teammates. They didn't really look like it. Of course, they're like Olympic teammates, so everyone's in the vibe and like having a good time. But there's a certain buddy sort of feeling when you watch guys play that are teammates in the NBA, and it's not there. The Suns, if they're smart, will blow up this super team that they attempted to put together. They've come out and said they won't. But if Kevin Durant gets antsy, he gets what he wants. And we just talked about Brandon Ayuk and how that whole scenario works where, you know, I want to go somewhere and I won't take no for an answer. The Warriors, it makes perfect sense for Kevin Durant to return to the Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
They're primed.
Long lost love.
Yeah, man. Kevin Durant never should have left.
Yeah.
That's the simple of it. We all, and yes, of course, the league was up in arms and it was terrible for everybody, but it was beautiful basketball to watch, man. And
It
if
was
he can,
beautiful when he got what he wanted and he would take no for an answer.
if
Beautiful love making.
if him and the big question here, I don't think, because Curry and Durant obviously are buds. The problem here is Draymond. If that relationship can be repaired, which I don't know if it can, but if that relationship could be repaired,
Draymond again. It's the off season and he's f***ing everything again.
if they can mend that relationship or they can at least be on basketball terms, that team could be so good because there's one less guy to have to worry about. It would just be Curry and Durant. I think they could win it. I think they're contenders as soon as he arrives. And I think they're potentially contenders for at least another 3 years.
You go.
I'm just gonna wrap my thing up with saying I really do believe there is a more than 60% chance. I'm gonna put my balls in the soy sauce. All right. There's a 90% chance that Kevin Durant ends up on the Warriors by the trade deadline.
All right. First of all, have you ever actually put your balls in soy sauce?
No, I haven't.
Okay, it's bullshit. You can't taste soy sauce. Okay. All right, moving on to my real point is talking about contenders and buddy. What I've seen in the media is that Anthony Edwards and Kevin Durant are actually really buddy. So when we're talking about Kevin Durant going to the Warriors,
yeah,
because he's buddy with Steph, I would think that it's more likely that we see a Kevin Durant on the Timberwolves because
look,
Anthony
it's
Edwards
possible
is super buddy with
if
him.
they figure it out. If we're around the trade deadline and Karl Anthony Towns is doing his same thing, being terrible, And they're like, look, we're obviously contenders. We're staying afloat right now, but we could be better. I think they'll figure out a package deal to go get Kevin Durant. Could be. And the other thing when you bring this up, I think it's hilarious because it's going to be so awkward returning to the team because Anthony Edwards beat Rudy Gobert in the the gold medal match. He's going to be talking so much shit to him.
Yeah, he is.
So much. It's going to be hilarious. It'll be all kind of like Ant is it's not going to be like me.
It's a very
fun loving, like
polite shit talker to where it's like
he's fun. It's not you can tell he's just shit talking. Like it's
you
part
can
of the
tell
game.
that it's a part of his nature to do it.
Yeah.
And he
it's like
expects
Christian.
it. Yes.
He doesn't mean it.
Yes. It is very much like Christian and very much it's just to put
Christian,
it very
if you're watching
simply,
this.
it is very much locker room talk. Like
Yeah.
you go into a locker room, and if a bunch of dudes are all just so ready and able to like talk shit to each other, it's just a bond, right? But then when you have people that can't take that, like maybe Rudy, who knows? Then it kind of breaks everything up. But
yeah. And then the other thing too, just looking at the Olympic team in general, the things that I kind of took away from it, obviously we won the gold, so it doesn't end up mattering, but we're so reliant on threes and we're so soft. The whole thing used to be that
calling America soft. Buddy.
Yeah, dude. It used to be that all the other teams, the Euro teams and the South American teams and everything, we were just dogs and like we would just beat them up physically. We couldn't rebound the ball to save our lives. And it terrified me. I was watching the semifinal game, dude, against Serbia. And I'm sitting there like, we've got Joel Embiid and Anthony Davis on the floor and Kevin Durant. We've had 3 7-footers on the floor. Why can't we get a damn rebound? What's going on right now? It was terrifying. It was terrifying, but we figured it out. But we got to get that, that's something that, and the hard part is the point is, I just find it very interesting, the difference, obviously, between rebounding in the NBA versus the Olympics. It makes you question a little bit of, what our athletes are actually capable of. Is it really the best league in the world?
You shut that blasphemy up. All right.
That could have went so many ways. You saved it.
Shout out the free world. Anyways, we are moving on to what are the best jerseys in the NFL. We have a little tier list here. What we're going to do is you're
skipping a bunch.
Oh, I'm skipping. Oh, that's because I did a peace sign. There's a bunch of balloons that like animated in the background.
Well, quit that.
Yeah. Am I fine now?
Yeah.
All right. So what we're doing, we are ranking the best NFL jerseys in the NFL. What we're going to do is we just have the base ones down here, but we will go by recollection. So if we say perchance, the Bengals, White Tiger, we will put the Bengals in the God spot because that is where my first pick is going. And then or if you want to do for the long form, you can do the actual jerseys. But for the short form, I will put in the actual jerseys that we're talking about. So my first pick is Bengals White Tiger. God tier.
Yeah, agreeable.
Ready. Where are the Bengals? There it is. Burrow. Why did they choose the black ones, huh?
I don't know. You can put that in God tier. And then go ahead and put the I
want to put
Titans in not God tier, but right under.
Titans are good. Yeah. Where are Titans?
Next to Dallas.
Oh, fourth one. Okay, yeah, I was looking at the wrong one. Yeah, Titans are good. Just regular base jerseys.
They're Oilers.
I'd put yeah. Oilers ones are a good pick. Now the turquoise Dolphins. I love those
Color Rush Dolphins.
Yeah, these ones.
Okay. They're mid.
Well, like
those ones
yeah. But like I was just
their
talking
whites
about
are better because they have more orange.
Yeah.
I personally would put the Panthers in God tier. I love their jerseys.
The Panthers? Okay.
Yeah, I'm
down
jerseys.
To put it in there. Where are the Panthers? Right here? 8?
I can't see your head. No, that's the Jags.
No. Jags are... Oh, is that the Jags?
Yeah, that's the Jags.
Okay. Where are the Panthers? No. That's Lawrence right here.
Oh, okay.
So
Then I
that
guess
is.
that's Panthers. Okay.
But which ones are we talking about?
They're blacks, dude. The blacks with the
These ones
barely
right here?
with the yeah, those are so tough. I will let's just get the obvious out of the way. Let's go ahead and put the Seahawks in awful.
And awful. Okay, who else is
Awful.
awful? Who else is awful?
The
Browns?
Colts, awful.
Colts? Colts?
Yeah,
Where are the
they're
Colts at?
just
Right here?
blue. They're
Oh
just
no, it's
blue.
not that.
They're on the
Colts are.
far
Oh
end of
yeah,
the
yeah,
second
yeah,
row.
yeah.
They're just blue.
I guess
Like
they are. They are very basic. They're just blue and white.
they're
Two
just
stripes
blue.
on the two
I would
stripes on
put
the
I
shirt.
would put the Jets in bad. I wouldn't put them in like awful, but I put them in bad. It's a good green.
I kind of like the. Yeah, I like those jerseys, but I understand why they're bad. Let's
The
go.
Saints, we can put those in awful.
These
That gold
right
color
here.
is
Yeah,
terrible. Yeah, we can
yeah,
put
yeah.
that
It's
in
bad.
awful.
What about the
Bears.
Browns?
Oh,
Browns and Bears.
Browns and Bears. I would put Browns in bad, and then I'd put the Bears. What's above bad? Okay is okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
decent.
yeah. Bears and okay.
Yeah,
I would put Patriots in okay too.
Patton. Okay, all right.
We can definitely put the Ravens in like good to great.
Yeah, they're clean. There's not a lot like going on there. I really like
I
a clean
love the
jersey.
Packers uniforms just because they're so classic. Like there's such a you put on like you just see the Packers uniform and you think football.
Yeah, yeah, that is true. So
I'd put it in
where we putting
good
those?
because they're just classic.
Good ones. Yeah.
Yeah, I would put the Bucks in good too.
This one, Bucks.
Yeah, I'd put Bucks in good.
We never actually placed them.
Dallas.
Where do you want the Dolphs? We never actually placed them.
Good.
You want?
I
would
think
put them one above good. I'd put them in great.
you put them in great. I think their
Yeah.
whites are lit. I really like their whites. Their
Yeah,
whites
but
are
that's what
clean.
we're talking about. Like I will put we're just going off memory, right? Because it doesn't have the exact ones.
Okay. I would put Steelers has got to be in okay. Because the black and yellow,
Yeah.
okay, but it's not
And
bad.
and it's like a staple. Like when you see those colors, what's coming.
The new Rams, the Rams reboot for
I
all their
was
stuff.
waiting. Yeah, I've been waiting to talk about the new
Good.
Rams jerseys. I would put
Good.
them above good. I
You put
really
them in
like.
great.
I mean, look, they pop.
Their helmets
that
are
not-
sick. Their
that
helmets
pops.
are dope. Their helmets are sick. Yeah, we could put them in great.
Yeah, it pops.
Lions, okay.
Yeah, Lions. Honestly,
Their
I'd put
whites are
lower.
clean.
I put the whites.
Their whites
yeah.
are clean. Their whites are clean.
Yeah, they're regular ones. They're just so bleh.
Chiefs, they're okay.
I feel
would
like
put
they
them in
haven't
okay.
changed their jerseys.
No, I would just put them in okay because they're classic, but they're just okay.
All right,
Dallas, dude, where are we putting Dallas?
Okay, but here's the thing: is that like the Dallas's like home colors are white.
Yeah, and it's just kind of
Like
eh.
what do their aways look like? You know, like
Blue.
like
I can't picture them. They're like
can't
navy
remember.
blue.
I
Bad.
can't.
Would
I
you put
can't
it in
even
bad?
think of it. Their navy blue is atrocious, but their whites are really good. So
I would put them in bad
so
personally.
navy blue would be awful,
Okay.
right? But the whites I would put okay. So we'll put
So
them
split
in
the
bad.
difference in
Yeah,
bad.
we'll
Okay.
put them in bad.
Who's next there? Is that Niners?
Yeah, Niners.
Okay. They're just decent. Like they're just
I don't like the
there.
Niners uniform. I don't like it. Is there an alternate
The
that's good?
crimson pops on the white. White
bet.
saves they're like white jerseys save when you've got a cool accent color like that color.
Yeah.
The red color as the main color is too much, but
Yeah.
as an accent color with the gold, it's clean.
It pops off. Oh, hey, Raiders.
I was about to say Commanders, Raiders. It's just black and white.
Yeah, but it compared to the rest of the league, it's unique.
Their blacks are. I would put it in good.
Yeah, I'd put it above decent just because it's just unique.
We can put it in good.
Yeah.
Bills. Their reds are kind of sick.
Their reds are very sick.
Their reds are sick.
Let's just go based off of the reds. Where do we want to put their reds?
Good.
Just good, not above.
I would say
their reds.
I'd say we'll have to reorganize good, but they're in good, I
Okay.
think.
Okay. Okay.
Texans are sick. Their reds are sick.
Did you see the new black helmets for the
No,
Texans?
no.
They just got black
Are they
helmets
dope?
with. I think they're dope. I think the new blacks are dope.
And they're kind of
But
America's team's colors because they're red, white, and blue, just like
yeah,
straight
but
up.
they're OG like uniforms. I love them. I love them. And then
Great.
they also have pure reds
Yeah,
as well.
reds are super sick.
And the
Dude. The reds
pure
are super sick.
don't they have pure whites as well?
Yeah,
Yeah, is it so?
they've
Where
got
we
sick
putting these?
jerseys.
Yeah,
Okay,
they
we'll put
have
those in
all
great.
around sick,
Great.
all around sick jerseys.
Yeah, I would put them in great. You want to put them in good?
No, they're in great right here.
Oh, okay, good. Okay.
Okay, Chargers. I can't think of a good Chargers jersey.
I can't either. Yeah,
Awful?
no, I think they're bad.
Bad.
They're
Okay.
not Saints bad. Like they're not offensive. They're just like
Mhm.
meh, they're just bad.
Now here's okay. You know the Jags jerseys. I don't.
Those are
If they're-
sick. Those are fucking sick.
Which
I love the
ones?
Jags
Which ones?
jerseys.
Which
The
ones?
blacks are tough.
The blacks are tough. Okay,
The
where
blacks
you
are
putting the
tough
blacks?
with the turquoise. The blacks are sick. I would put those in good for sure.
Good blacks and good.
Yeah.
Okay. Cards, I can only think of their base jerseys and then their
Awful.
whites.
Awful.
Yeah, I can't think of.
They're
any
not
variation.
imaginative in any way.
Oh, no, we'll save it till the end. We'll save it till the
Okay.
end. Let's go. New York Giants.
Those are kind of cool.
Those are, but
It's red, white, and blue, but instead of
And
it's
it's a
because there's a red,
staple,
white,
too.
and navy. Yeah. I think they're
it's a staple too. Like,
an okay.
yeah, I would put
They're
them in
an okay.
okay, but
Yeah.
they have really good like recognition when you see the jerseys.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right,
Vikings,
Vikes.
great.
Which one specifically? I know I'm thinking
All
of
of
a
them. I
really
like all
good.
of them.
I'm thinking of like a matte purple that they wore.
Yeah.
That looks sick.
They're matte
Not
purple
this
helmets.
one though. Not this one, but there's like a matte purple. So
You're
where we
thinking of
put
their helmets. They wear the purple helmets with those. I would put those in great,
Great?
personally. I'd
All
put Vikings in great.
Falcons, matte black
Okay.
with red. I can't think of like an
Okay.
alternate.
Yeah. Okay. Commanders,
I would say awful.
really? I was gonna say good.
You would? I can't think of
Yeah.
like a good jersey from them.
I think
Are
their
you saying
jerseys are
this
sweet.
one? You're saying
Yeah, I
just
think
this one?
I think their jerseys are pretty cool. Yeah. I like their colors.
How about instead of good, we go okay? Because I don't think that this jersey's that great.
Yeah, we can reorder it too.
Yeah.
We'll put it
Okay, last one before.
Fucking awful. I
Philly
don't like Phillies jerseys. I think they're so boring. The Kelly Green to me is gross. I'm not a fan of Kelly Green. And
What about the
wearing a watch.
lime greens that they wore? They wore some lime greens. That's a sick. The lime greens were a
those
sick
are-
jersey.
It gives Seahawks. I'm out on the. I'm not a big fan of the
Not a
those
fan?
jerseys.
Okay,
I'm not
here's-
a fan.
Here's the big Kahuna, the big cheese. Last one. The Denver
I would-
Broncos jersey.
Realistically, I would put them in good. If it was just up to me, I'd put them in great because we're bringing
I
back
don't
the
like them.
we're bringing back the Orange Crush jerseys though, the '90s jerseys where
me
it's
search it up.
white. Yeah, I'll put it up too so you guys can see it. But the
Searching
Orange
up
Crush
right now.
jerseys are sick.
All right, you tell me which one it is.
I mean the one of those pictures is fine.
Any
But
of
we're-
these?
Yeah,
If it was just like straight orange, like cream orange. Oh, actually. Can you see this one? Let me move it over. Because this one's
Yeah.
actually sick.
yeah,
This
and it's by the
I'm
Denver.
moving myself.
It's by the Broncos, so yeah, that's real. Yeah, those are them.
Yeah, those ones.
those are tough.
That one, yeah.
Yeah, that's
That's a
sick.
good one. I
Yeah,
would put
those
it.
are sick. I would put those in. I personally, because I'm a fan, also you have to represent. I would put them in great, but realistically, overall, their jerseys are good. I would say they're different enough from the rest of the NFL for sure.
Yeah, I'd put him in good. I'd put him in good. I'd put him in good. The
You're gonna have to
orange
readjust
crush.
that.
The orange crush and good. Yeah. Give me a second.
Okay, so we got to reorder some here.
All
We'll
right.
start from the bottom to the top. Go ahead and put the Seahawks at the very back end of awful, the bottom of awful.
Really? Not what about the limes, brother?
No. Go ahead and put
No,
the
so
Seahawks.
they're the
Seahawks at the very
Seahawks.
end.
You feel
The
strongly
worst.
Seahawks are
The
the worst
worst. The
jerseys of the
worst
NFL.
jerseys in the NFL, dude. They look like a 12th grader. Or not a 12th grader. What am I saying? They look like a sixth grader. Like what a sixth.
I will say these jerseys that we see right now, yeah,
Yeah,
they look
those look like what a sixth grader
it's
draw
too
for a
much going
football
on.
jersey.
It's too much going on with like
I'd put those at the back end. Then I'd put Saints right in front of them. I don't like the Saints jerseys personally. Can you click on the screen somewhere so we can highlight that shit that you have highlighted? That's driving me insane.
bro, you are OCD.
Holy noses, dude. I would put after Saints, I would put I think
Honestly,
that order right there is fine.
I would put Philly at the top.
Of awful. I like the Cardinals jerseys more.
Limes, bro.
Dude,
I love the
no.
limes. I love the lime jerseys. I would put them at the very front.
I would put the Cardinals ahead of that. I'd put the Cardinals in the front of awful.
And you think Colts jerseys, these blues with the white stripes are at the front.
I'd put the Cardinals at the front of awful, and then the Colts, and then yeah, like that.
I would give more respect to the Philly fans, but
really, dude,
bro, the lime jerseys were sick.
No, I don't think so.
I love the lime jerseys. That's just me. Okay, bad. What do we change in bad?
Browns at the back of bad.
Browns at the back.
And then I think it's Jets, and I would put the Chargers ahead of Dallas.
Really? I like Dallas more than
that's
I do
fine. We can
Chargers.
leave it that way. I'm indifferent with that.
Okay to decent. Who's the best in the
Who's
okay
the best
to
of
decent?
okay to decent? I would say the Commanders personally.
I would say the Steelers.
Okay, we can put them first. Yeah, I'm
I
agreeable.
would say Steelers, and then you want to put Commanders second.
Yeah. If you're fine with that, we can do that.
And then okay, but
Lions ahead of Bears for sure. Jump that they can jump.
I have Lions farther back.
Really?
Then third. Yes, I do. I have for sure. I have KC and I have New England, and then New York. I have those ahead of the Lions.
I would put KC 3.
KC 3, and then you want Lions 4th?
I can live if we want to push it back.
Yeah, I it's just they're so like the whites maybe be great, but like
I would put the Falcons ahead of them.
Falcons head? Like right there. And then do you like New England or not? Like, because I like the New England jerseys.
No.
Okay, you don't like them?
I'm not really that.
So this is fine. And then I feel like Fields, I feel like the Bears jerseys.
Their oranges are cool, but that's
oranges are cool. Yeah. Creamsicle.
I would be fine if we put the Falcons ahead of the Chiefs. Now that I think about it.
Okay, so but who's the backing? Because I don't feel like the Giants.
Move your head.
I don't feel like the Giants are backing.
Oh, Giants, we can move them up for sure. I would put them ahead of the Chiefs.
Ahead of the Chiefs. So like that. And then it goes. So the worst jersey in here is San Francisco.
Is Niners.
I'd honestly say the Bears are worse than San Francisco's jersey.
Sure, we can put that there. I'm indifferent towards the back end of that. That's fine.
Yeah, I like that. Okay,
and then good. I would put
I think
Dolphins at the beginning of good.
No, that's Dolphins are in great.
Or sorry, okay, that's Jags. Then I'm fine with keeping Packers where they're at.
Yeah, I was gonna say Packers feel like a number 1 here.
I would put Jags then 2.
Second. Yeah, I like that.
And
I want to put Bucks back towards Broncos Bills.
Okay. Like, who's that we have? Raiders there?
That's Raiders.
I like the Broncos better than the Raiders.
Is there anybody you like more than the Broncos that's in these
that's
3?
In that category?
Yeah. Creamsicles are sick. I don't like the accents on the creamsicles.
I like our just normal oranges too.
These ones?
Not those ones with the stripe down the side, but like we have better ones that like from the I want to say it's like 2014, like when the Peyton Manning year.
Here, I'll give it to you because when you see bright orange, it's unique. It's rare. You know what you're getting when you see the bright orange. We can put them. You wanted them ahead of the Raiders?
I would say ahead of the Raiders. Yeah, I personally would put the Bucks ahead of the Raiders because the Raiders are so simple.
Yeah, but to me, the Bucks are too complicated.
Really? I like their mascot too, like their logo.
Yeah. I just feel like there's so
I
much
would put the I might put the Bills ahead of them. We can put the Bucks at the end.
Bucks at the end. I
Yeah.
just feel like there's so much going on with the Bucks, even though I like because the Bucks are like really the only team that like fully goes into what their mascot is, like Pirates. But there's so much going on with the jerseys, like even like
Yeah.
the font of the jerseys as well.
Eh, I would put them higher, but that's fine.
It's fine.
The Dolphins got the beginning of great, and then
Yeah,
for me it
100%.
goes Minnesota.
Really, I was gonna put Rams. I was gonna go
I
Dolphins,
don't
Rams.
Rams were your pick here. I don't
I
really get
really
it.
they pop, dude. Out like look at all the jerseys right here. Rams
Yeah,
pop.
I
Rams
mean,
pop compared to everyone else.
yeah, you like the pop. I don't know. To me, it's just kind of like, okay, it's Chargers on crack.
We can do it though. We can do it though. Right there.
I would put that there. And
And then
then if
out
you
of
want to
these
put
three.
Rams ahead of Ravens, I'm fine with that.
All right. And then out of these two, that's good.
Yeah,
The only elites we have is the Oilers. Do we
yeah.
want to move Dolphins up into elite?
I kind of want to put Oilers and God here and have, and I don't know if there's like an elite.
I kind of want to put Oilers in God tier too.
Yeah, let's just do it. I don't know if there's an elite. It's just like
Yeah.
not God tier, but
Yeah.
not great. I don't know if there's an elite. I think it's
Yeah.
God tier.
Okay, so the White Tigers,
Yeah.
we're putting those first,
Yeah.
and then with
I
just the
would say
blacks.
Oilers too. I would say Oilers is two.
Oil. Okay, so the White Tigers first,
Yeah.
the
And the
Oilers jerseys, and then you're saying just the regular.
Actually, I could put Panthers in elite. For me, it's not God
Panthers.
tier.
Okay, yeah, because
I
I was
just
gonna say
love
that
the black
because
line of blue, dude. That's so
yeah,
sick. It looks so sick. And their helmets are so simple. It's so tough. Like seeing Cam Newton in that Panthers jersey was
yeah,
just so sick, dude.
it was.
Every time I have the opportunity in a football game, I pick the Panthers jerseys.
Yeah, I will say that's a good change up because you have two very unique jerseys in God tier. Oilers incredibly unique, White Tigers incredibly unique, and then I I can let you have the Panthers.
Panthers are just, I think Panthers have the best black jerseys in the league.
Yeah, I would say Raiders, but it's because it's black on gray,
It's just
and that's
black
just
and
boring.
yeah, it's just black
Yeah.
on gray.
But I love the black. But besides that, it is boring. But yeah. Okay. So this is the list of the best jerseys in the NFL. Let
Just
us know
leave
down.
awful out. Yeah.
Yeah. Let us know down in the comments what you think. And then I will scroll down really quick.
I'm gonna get heat for the Panthers take for sure.
Yeah, for sure you will. For sure you will. All right. Let's get into
Predictions.
predictions.
So my
So,
team. Did you want to go or did you
No,
want?
no.
Oh,
You go. You go.
oh,
You go.
we're doing the Cardinals today. I've been blowing smoke up their butt. I've been saying that they are. You got to specify Arizona Cardinals
Oh, I
because
found one. No, I found one. I found one.
Okay. I've been blowing smoke up their butt for the longest time, saying that I think they're going to be really good, and this just goes to show it. So, let's jump straight into it. Starting off in the regular season, week 1, the Cardinals travel to Buffalo to play the Bills. They dropped this game to the Bills in week 1. Josh Allen's returning. He's got something to prove, and they're going to catch the brute end of it in the first week. So week 2, they head home to play the Rams. I think the Rams are a bigger question mark than we really think. I think we saw from last year that they're one injury away from being worse than a worse team than we think. So I'm going to give this early matchup to the Cardinals here in week 2. So they're 1-1 going into week 3. They play the Lions here, dropped game. The Lions are just simply better. So they're going to drop this game. Week 4, They're playing the Commanders. It's a
Mhm.
tight game through the first 3 quarters, but the lack of defense and the QB and a rookie QB just kind of cracks in the fourth quarter. So Cardinals
Yeah.
pull this one out week 4. They head into week 5, 2-2, head to not Candlestick Park. They head to Levi Stadium to play the Niners in division game. They're currently 1-0 in division. They're going to be 1-1. The Niners are going to bend them over. So this is 2-3 heading
How's Marvin doing so far?
This is the big
Get
game
into it.
here.
Get into it.
Right here. So week 6, they go to Lambeau to play the Packers. It's still September. It's October at this point. We're in week 6. He's kind of getting a feel for it. It's a big game. He's matching up with Jair Alexander, and guess what? He goes off here.
Boom.
He goes off. He shows it. He shows out against Jair Alexander. I'm a number 1 in this league. Cardinals win this game in Lambeau against the Packers,
Tough game.
pushing them to 3-3. There's an upset kind of every year. And I don't think it's too much of an upset, but it's enough to where people are kind of surprised here. But buckle up. We're about to go on a run here. They play the Chargers. This is a dub. The Chargers are simply just, we don't know what they're going to be, and I lean on the side that they're going to be bad. They're going to play the Dolphins here. They're going to Miami, okay? I think the Dolphins are going to be nicked up early year. It's starting to get
Heat don't affect them.
yeah, they're going to be a little bit nicked up. The Cardinals, it doesn't affect. They play in Arizona.
play in Arizona.
They're in Miami. I think this is a dub for the Cardinals here.
Yeah.
I think they get the best of them here. The Dolphins are volatile. One injury can derail them. The Cardinals, potentially Marvin Harrison Jr., they've got a good run game. They did a bunch. They had a great draft, A+ draft, had 12 picks. We'll talk about it a little bit more towards the end of this, but they fixed a lot of their holes on the defensive end. You let Tyreek eat, and then you just say Tua and the 2s and 3s beat us. So I think the Cardinals can pull this game. It's a close one. It's an upset, but I think the Cardinals can pull this game. So they're 5-3 heading into week 9, playing the Bears here. Okay. At home in Arizona. Caleb Williams has been going through it. Okay.
Hot day.
I have them losing to the Bears.
Oof. It's not as hot as California.
They're in Chicago. So I have them losing to the Bears. It's starting to get a little bit chilly. It's a close game the whole way through, but ultimately I think the Bears just have one more weapon, and their defense is just a little bit better because they're not all rookies. So I'm going to give this game to the Bears here. They are 5-4 heading into week 10. They play the Jets. They're going to drop another one here to the Jets. I'm expecting Aaron Rodgers to be healthy and for that defense to just be, Marvin Harrison Jr. is great, but he's a rookie, and that defense is good.
Sauce is on him all night.
Pause. 5-5 heading into week 11. They have a bye. They lose. Now, week 12, here's the big run. Here's where they separate from the pack, okay?
Men become boys, boys become men.
Boys become men. They play the Seahawks. Week 12 in Seattle. This is a win for the Cardinals.
Yes. Okay? That makes so much sense, because when the Cardinals, for whatever reason, play the Seahawks, it is a crazy competitive game. That makes so much sense.
And they've got a bunch of the Seahawks are going through a bunch of turnover. We have no idea what they're really going to be. I've got the Seahawks being at the bottom end of this division. This is an in-division game. So Cardinals beat them. They go to Minnesota to play the Vikings. It's indoors. It doesn't matter. The cold doesn't affect them. This is a dub for the Cardinals. They're going to beat them. Then they head back home to play the Seahawks again. They just beat them. Seahawks are, I think at this point late in the year, I said this in another one of our predictions, I think they're going to be trying out quarterbacks at the end of the year. So this is another win for the Cardinals here. They are 8-5 heading into week 15 to play the Patriots, the worst team in the NFL at
Okay.
home.
No, Denver Broncos are the worst team in the NFL.
The Patriots, the worst team in the NFL. They are 8-5 here. They continue the win streak. They're rattling off wins towards the end of the year. This is another dub for the Cardinals. They are 9-5 heading into week 16 now. They head to North Carolina to play the Panthers. This is the third worst team in the NFL. This is another win. They're on a 4-game win streak here. 10-5.
It's turning out to be a really easy schedule for them.
That's the point. They've got a lot of duds. That's why I'm high on them this year. Now, week 17, they go to LA to play the Rams. They're going to drop this game. The winning streak comes to an end here. Late game Rams, late season Rams. They're healthy. I was looking at the Rams schedule. They've got a tough schedule, so they might miss the playoffs, but they're going to try and turn it on at the end of the year and win some games. So this is a loss for them. They're 10-6 heading into week 18. They play the Niners and get shit on at home. Okay. No, we don't need to talk about it more than that.
Every consistency is when they play any team plays the Niners.
Okay. So they finished the year 10-7, dude.
That is very good. And it doesn't seem that far-fetched either.
No, they've got a ton of duds on it. Like, that run after the bye, coming out of a bye too, where they come off of so they get the Bears, they get the Dolphins, Bears, Jets, and then they get a bye. That's their that's the gauntlet. Those are the best teams they play. Those 3 weeks, Dolphins, Bears, Jets. Those are arguably the best teams they play outside of the teams in their division. They get a bye, and then they get Seattle twice, the Vikings, the Patriots, and the Panthers for 5 weeks. Like, there's so many duds there. I can totally see this actually happening here. Like I said, we'll get into more of why I think this is totally feasible. They had 12 picks in this year's draft, and it was an A-plus draft. They drafted 3 corners. They got Marvin Harrison Jr. in the first round. They got Trey Benson in the third. Was it the third that they got Trey Benson? He was the first running back off the board, I think.
Yes. Third or second.
One of the two. They grabbed another running back to give James Conner relief. They got a defensive piece. It was the third round because in the second round, they took a DN that they're really high on. Mm-hmm. Or no, they had 2 picks in the first round. They had Marvin Harrison at 4, and then at 27, they had the DN. So I think Trey Benson was third round, and I think they took a corner in the second. Yeah. They had a great draft. Now, of course, what's the X factor? The rookies have to pan out. Of course, that's the X factor. But going on the idea that they're young and what they don't know can't hurt them, they're just going to be out there playing football, like just balling. So 10-7 to me, they've got a bunch of duds on their schedule. They had a great draft. They've got 2 superstars in the making. They've got a decent tight end. They have what looks to be a good running game. They've got their pieces figured out on the defensive end. It looks like. I like that they've got a defensive. Normally, you don't want a defensive head coach in the NFL, but when you've got a Marvin Harrison Jr. and a Kyler Murray and a young budding offensive coordinator. And a young offensive coordinator. I was looking into his kind of history. He worked with Kirk Cousins with the Vikings. He worked with the Browns. I think, was it 2 years ago? Either 2 years ago or last year, he worked with the Browns I think it was last year. And
if it was last year, that's great.
It was 2 years ago when they had Jacoby Brissett.
That's all right.
But when you look at the numbers, Jacoby Brissett, I think, was like 60 to 70% completion percentage during that year. So he doesn't have a long career. He's a young guy, but when you have Kyler, when you've got a Marvin Harrison Jr., you've got a Trey Benson, you've got a decent tight end, you've got James Conner, you have all the weapons, the offensive line is going to be better, and you've got young guys on the defense to support you. You can take chances in a lot of that. Also, I was looking at kind of the run game numbers. They had their best year as soon as he showed up. James Conner had one of his best years as soon as he showed up. I like the mix. And like I said, the Seahawks are going to be on the back end of the division because their division is Niners, Cardinals, Rams, Seahawks. So Seahawks, I think, are going to be on the back end of the division. Rams, looking at their schedule, they've got a tough schedule. They've got a couple gauntlets in their schedule. I've got them. I looked at their schedule. I think they're going to end about 9-8. So they'll just miss the playoffs because by one game. The Cardinals, then they just slide into that spot. And if they can steal a game against the Rams, they end the year like 3-3 in division, and they've got one better game than the Rams. So unfortunately, the Rams miss, Cardinals make it, and then they're not going to beat the Niners, but that's fine. So what does that mean? Potentially they slide into the back half of the playoffs and they go to Atlanta or potentially Dallas. And I love them in either of those spots.
Yeah, I love them in the playoffs versus Dallas. Sure.
For sure, I love them in Dallas because if they go to Dallas, it's a repeat of the Packers.
Mm-hmm.
The Dallas, especially this year, is built to front run. If they can't front run, they're not going to win games because they don't have a run game. And all it takes is one mistake where Dallas throws a pick. If they're down, let's say they're down 14-3. Okay. Dak starts forcing the ball and throws a pick, and all of a sudden they're not front running. They turn the ball over, and all of a sudden now it's 21-3.
Yeah.
Dallas is not built to come back from that. In my eyes, I think that they're going to start forcing stuff and then mistakes happen. So I love them in either a Falcons spot or a Dallas spot. And I think it's a legitimate chance that the Cardinals win a playoff game this year. They have a 10-7 season. They win a playoff game, and we see them in the second round of the NFC playoffs.
Yeah,
I think it's completely possible.
Yeah, and Kyler Murray was hurt. James Conner and Kyler Murray were hurt at the front end of this season.
They
came back, they looked pretty decent, pretty good.
Kyler showed flashes. James Conner returned to form. They had a full offseason, a full healthy offseason. Because when you're recovering, if you're recovering from injuries, you don't really get an offseason. They got a full healthy offseason. They got a full training camp. Now they're going to come into week 1, get trounced by the Bills, and get that game out of the way, and then just go forward. I think it's possible we could see 10-7 Cardinals. And when week 12 rolls around and they're 8-4 or whatever it was at that point, and everyone's like we're looking at the playoff picture, and then all of a sudden at like 6 or 7, we get to the Cardinals and we're like, wait, they're 8-4 and they're like, what? Yeah. They're 8-4 in week 12 and no one's going to talk about it. And then all of a sudden we're going to be entering the playoffs and they're going to be in the race. I think it's completely possible.
All right. Do we want to try and bust mine out in 3 minutes?
I mean, you can if you want.
It's up to you. Do you want to?
Sure. You want to send it?
Or okay. Should I send it or should we wait till the next one?
Send it. 3 minutes. 3:30.
Alrighty. Baltimore. We're doing the Kansas City Chiefs. They play Baltimore week 1. Tough game. Here's the thing: is that they're going for a three-peat. What happens when they go for a three-peat? When it's the Kansas City Chiefs, they never look like they're going for a Super Bowl at the beginning of the year. So they lose to the Baltimore Ravens. Week 2, Cincinnati. Joe Burrow is in full form. He is mad. He is angry because he is healthy now. They lose 0-2 to start the season. Everybody's like, no, they can't do a three-peat. Week 3, they go to the Falcons. They win. Very close game. Very close game. To be very specific, because it is still that, oh my gosh, they're terrible. Chargers, obviously an easy win. Nobody is saying anything about that. They're expected to win. Saints, the same thing. They're expected to win. They lose, obviously. 49ers.
Tough game.
That's when it turns on. So they have been losing against tough teams this whole time. Everybody's like, they can't win three Super Bowls. Super Bowl matchup. They can't win three-peat. They are not looking the same as they did in the Super Bowl. They go and they don't crush, but they beat the 49ers. Okay. So now it has switched. Every Chiefs season, it flops back and forth, whether or not they're going to be good or not. This is the flop right here versus the 49ers. They go to the Raiders. They lose because for whatever reason, Max Crosby has Patrick Mahomes' number.
Okay.
For whatever reason, that seems to be a hard game. And it's the flop. It goes back and forth.
It's at Raiders, yeah.
It's at Raiders. So what are they at right now?
I don't know.
You're not keeping track? Okay, you'll have it up on the screen. Okay, so Tampa Bay Buccaneers, obviously, they beat the Bucs, even though I think Baker's the best quarterback in the league. Denver Broncos, sorry, buddy, it's not happening again. They lose in week 10.
Yeah.
what I'm saying is the Broncos lose to the Chiefs in
Yes.
week 10. Week 11, Buffalo Bills. This is
Ooh.
before the playoffs.
Yep.
So they beat the Buffalo Bills
Okay.
because it's before the playoffs.
I like it.
Buffalo Chiefs come alive in the playoffs. We all
You
know
want to
that.
say anything about week 12?
They lose.
Hey.
Week 13, they play the Raiders because they lost versus the Panthers. They are in the race. They're in the running. They have to play great. They can't do that basketball strat that they have been doing. So they beat the Raiders. Week 14, obviously beat the Chargers. Week 15 against the Browns, Deshaun Watson gets another case. He's not playing. So they beat them. Week 16, they lose to the Houston Texans because CJ Stroud is just that good. Week 17 against the Steelers, TJ Watt has Patrick Mahomes' number, but it doesn't matter because Travis Kelce is just playing that damn good. They win. And then week 18 versus the Broncos, again, they mollywop the Broncos. There is no shot this season that the Chiefs lose to the Broncos. So doing a quick run, whatever that score was.
We'll have it down below.
Yeah, we'll have it down below. I had to do a quick one. Anyways, boys, that is
5 seconds.
That's been the pod. Love you guys.